The rain hammered Mulberry Street as Scarlett Miller pressed against the window of Carmine's, watching the man in the blood-red suit. Slicked hair, white rose lapel, Mark Delano, her best friend's cheating fiancé. The blonde across from him laughed too loud, diamonds glittering. Scarlett pushed through the door, past the mountain of a guard. Her heels clicked like gunshots on marble. Every wise guy in the room knew. Women who walked into Carmine's alone were either connected or dead. She marched straight to his table. "Mark Delano, you miserable." The man looked up. Wrong eyes, winter steel, not muddy brown. Wrong jaw, wrong nose, wrong everything. But Scarlett was already falling off the cliff of her rage. Cheating on Lisa wasn't enough? Now you're here dressed like a circus act with some woman old enough to be your mother? She jabbed a finger at the elegant gray-haired woman. "No offense, ma'am, but my friend is 26 and doesn't need whatever Botox cocktail you're serving." The restaurant went silent. The woman lowered her teacup, smiling like a Renaissance painting, beautiful and terrifying. Fascinating. The man stood slowly, unfolding to 6'2". "I think you've made a mistake. The only mistake was Lisa trusting you. My name is Dante Costa, not Mark whatever you said." Costa. The name hit like a physical blow. Everyone in New York knew it. The Costa family didn't just run businesses. They ran boroughs. And Dante Costa was heir to an empire built on fear and bodies. "Oh," Scarlett whispered. "Oh, no." The woman stood. "What's your name, dear?" "Scarlett Miller." "Scarlett Miller." Elena Costa commanded the room like a general. "Do you know what I appreciate most? Honesty, fire, courage to speak truth when it's dangerous." She turned to her son. "Dante, I've made a decision. She's perfect." "Perfect for what?" "To marry my son." The room exploded in whispers. Dante's hand went to his forehead. Scarlett wondered if she was having a stroke. You just called the future head of the Costa family a circus act, in front of 20 witnesses, and lived. That takes courage. Elena circled Scarlett like a shark. "You're exactly what Dante needs, someone who isn't afraid of him." "Mrs. Costa." "Dante, you're 32, surrounded by gold diggers and traitors. This girl is genuine." Elena's voice brooked no argument. "Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Chambers Street Courthouse." "Mother, this is insane. This is necessary." Elena turned to Scarlett. "You'll marry him, be protected, want for nothing, and give me grandchildren who aren't sociopaths. And if I say no?" Elena's smile never wavered, but her eyes went cold. "Then I'll be very disappointed. And dear, no one disappoints Elena Costa twice." Across the restaurant, the real Mark Delano was slipping out with his blonde. He'd seen everything. "If I agree," Scarlett said suddenly, "I want something. That man there," she pointed at Mark, "he's been lying to my best friend. I want him to pay." Dante followed her finger. "Mark Delano runs numbers for the Santoro family." "Not anymore," Elena said, snapping her fingers. 2 men blocked Mark's exit. "After tonight, Mr. Delano will find himself unemployed and unemployable. His debts called in, his protection revoked." Scarlett watched Mark's face go white. "Deal." Elena extended her hand. "Your loyalty and marriage for our protection and Mark Delano's ruin." Scarlett looked at the offered hand, then at Dante, who watched with resignation and curiosity. "Deal," she said. As Dante escorted her out, his hand barely touching her elbow, Scarlett caught one last glimpse of Mark being escorted to the back room. She wondered if she'd just made the biggest mistake of her life, or maybe something else entirely. Scarlett stood before the mirror, lipstick trembling in her hand. "You're marrying into the mob." Lisa's voice carried from the living room. "Scar, there are 3 armed men in the hallway." "About that," Scarlett emerged. "I'm getting married, today, to Dante Costa." The explanation came in fragments. Lisa listened, cycling through disbelief and understanding. "The Costas kill people, Scarlett." "I know. But Lisa, Elena destroyed Mark in one night. That's the power I just bought into." A knock announced Vincent, Elena's attendant, with a garment bag and briefcase. The midnight blue dress was perfect. The prenuptial agreement was surprisingly generous. Financial security, legal immunity, protections instead of restrictions. Elena values loyalty above all, Vincent said, but she believes in fair compensation. The courthouse was nearly empty. Dante waited on the steps in a black suit. You came. Did I have a choice? Everyone has a choice, Scarlett, even when it doesn't feel like it. The ceremony was perfunctory. When Dante slipped the platinum band on her finger, perfect fit, Scarlett wondered how Elena had known her size. You may kiss the bride. Dante's lips barely brushed hers, but somehow more intimate than any real kiss. Mrs. Costa, welcome to the family. Outside, Elena emerged from an escalade. Dante, take your wife home. The Tribeca apartment is ready. How did you... I'm thorough, dear. Dinner's at 7, the whole family. Rest first. You'll need strength. The penthouse overlooked the Hudson. Guest rooms down the hall, Dante said, loosening his tie. You'll have privacy. We're not sharing a bed. This marriage might be Mother's idea, but I'm not a complete barbarian. He poured whiskey. This is temporary, an arrangement. Scarlett should have felt relieved. Instead, she felt insulted. Your mother thinks I'm perfect for you. My mother thought my father was trustworthy until she found out he was embezzling. Her instincts aren't infallible. She was right about Mark. Dante's eyes met hers. Mark was small time. Want to know what being a Costa really means? He gestured at the city. We own buildings, restaurants, construction companies, legitimate businesses built on blood and leverage. I'm not afraid of you. You should be. Not of me, but of what this family means. People would use you to get to me, then teach me how to survive it. Something flickered in his eyes. Lesson 1. At dinner, speak only when spoken to. Observe everything. Trust no one. Not even you. Especially not me. The family dinner was power dynamics in motion. Marcello Costa sat at the head, Dante's uncle, who took over after Elena killed her husband. Midway through, Marcello addressed Scarlett. What do you bring to this family besides a mouth that doesn't know when to stay shut? The table went silent. Scarlett met his gaze. Loyalty that can't be bought, sir, unlike some things. Marcello's eyes narrowed, then he laughed. She's got spine. Elena, you might be right. Later, Elena pulled Scarlett aside, pressing a key into her palm. Safety deposit box at Merchant Bank. Evidence, insurance. If anything happens to me, that box is yours. Mrs. Costa, Elena, dear, we're family now, and family protects family. That night, Dante appeared with wine. You survived. Is that what tonight was? Everything in this family is a test. He clinked glasses. For what it's worth, you passed. Marcello doesn't laugh at just anyone. I'm terrified every second, but fear doesn't mean silence. For the first time, Dante smiled, real, softening his harsh features. Maybe Mother wasn't completely insane. As Scarlett drifted to sleep, she realized she'd entered as a prisoner. But the cage was starting to feel like possibility. Scarlett woke to find Dante gone and a note. Meeting downtown. Drivers outside if needed. She called Elena. I need to understand what I married into. Finally asking the right questions. Metropolitan Club, 1 hour. Elena slid a leather folder across the table. 3 generations of careful cultivation. Inside were organizational charts, loan sharking, protection rackets, smuggling. At the center, Dante's name. He runs all of this. Dante is operations chief. Marcello's the diplomat. But Dante makes it function. Elena poured tea. Which is why he needs someone who can handle reality. A criminal organization. A family business outside conventional law. We provide services the government won't. We're pragmatists. Who kill people. When necessary, when there's no other option. Elena met her eyes. Can you live in the gray? Scarlett thought of Mark, disappeared like smoke. I already am. Elena smiled. I have a proposition. She wanted Scarlett to manage the legitimate businesses. 17 restaurants needing someone above suspicion. Turn failing businesses into profit centers. Show Dante you're not just a forced wife. That night, Elena drove them to Red Hook, a warehouse humming with activity. Men loading trucks, sorting packages with military precision. Our primary distribution hub, Elena explained. Everything flows through here. A massive, scarred man approached. Mrs. Costa, we weren't expecting. Luca, this is Scarlett, Dante's wife. She'll audit restaurant operations. She needs to understand the scope. Watching the operation, Scarlett realized the genius. The restaurants aren't just fronts, they're the distribution network. Now you're understanding. Elena looked pleased. Every kitchen, delivery truck, storage room serves dual purposes. The restaurants must be successful. Too much scrutiny and everything collapses. Dante appeared, stopping when he saw Scarlett. Mother, what is she doing here? Learning the business. She's taking over restaurant operations tomorrow. Absolutely not. I don't want her involved in actual business. Too late. I've decided. Elena kissed them both. Scarlett, your first audit is Giancarlo's in Midtown. The manager's stealing. Fix it. After Elena left, Dante turned to Scarlett. You can't do this. Mother's putting you in danger. Or giving me purpose in a marriage I didn't choose. I'm not built to sit in that apartment. You're not built for this either. This world eats innocent people. Then stop treating me like I'm innocent. I agreed knowing what your family is. Don't punish me for wanting to contribute. Dante studied her, something shifting. You really want this? I want to be useful, to matter. Fine. He made a call. Carlo, deep background on Danny Marconi at Giancarlo's. Everything. Yeah, by morning. He hung up. The manager's been skimming for months. We've been watching, gathering evidence. They spent 3 hours in his office. Organizational charts, stolen funds, Danny's gambling debts to the Bratva. Nearly $200,000 over 8 months. He owes the Russians $300,000, Dante explained. He stole from us to pay them. We're his only lifeline. Think you can handle that conversation? Scarlett met his gaze. I called you a circus act in front of 20 made men. I can handle one scared thief. Dante smiled. Mother might actually be a genius. Later, sharing Chinese takeout, Dante opened up. Mother didn't force this to control me. She did it to save me. I was becoming my father, cold, isolated, trusting no one. She saw it would destroy me. So she gave you me, a stranger who yelled at you? Someone who sees me as human. Someone with no agenda except survival. He turned to her. You're not innocent, Scarlett, but you're not corrupted either. In this family, that's rarer than gold. Something shifted between them. Not attraction, but understanding. Foundation beneath the arranged marriage. Tomorrow you become a Costa for real, Dante said. Ready? Scarlett thought of Danny, of the empire, of power. I'm ready. And meant it. Giancarlo's was all exposed brick and low lighting. Scarlett arrived at 9 a.m. with evidence of Danny Marconi's entire criminal history. When she demanded to see him, the hostess went pale. Mrs. Costa? I'll get him immediately. Danny appeared, smile plastered on. Mrs. Costa, what an unexpected... We can talk here or your office, but we are talking. In his cramped office, Scarlett laid out the evidence. You've stolen $197,000. Inflated costs, ghost employees, cash skimming. You've been robbing us to pay the Bratva. Danny went gray. I can explain. You're in debt $300,000. The Russians will kill you regardless. Scarlett leaned forward. Return every penny. Work for free until paid. We'll handle the Bratva. This is your only chance. Steal again, and we gift wrap you for them ourselves. I understand, Danny whispered. Good. $50,000 down payment tomorrow. And Danny, make this restaurant profitable again, or our deal's off. Walking out, Scarlett felt a rush of real power. Her phone buzzed. Dante, how'd it go? He agreed. $50,000 tomorrow. Impressive. Meet me at Fulton Street Warehouse in an hour. Another problem. At Fulton, Dante waited with a stunning woman. Scarlett, Isabella Romano. She runs pharmaceutical distribution. Isabella's handshake was calculated. The girl who screamed at him. How charming. Isabella's been with me 5 years, Dante said. Very close. The implication was clear. Scarlett recognized territorial marking. Then you must be devastated, watching him marry someone else. Isabella's smile went rigid. We're missing 2 Canadian shipments, Dante said. Isabella thinks it's the supplier. I think it's internal. It's the supplier? Isabella insisted. Jean-Marc's unreliable. We should cut ties. Or, Scarlett said slowly, someone wants us to cut ties with a reliable supplier to create chaos. Who benefits if we lose Jean-Marc? Both stared at her. Explain, Dante said. If the supplier was stealing, they'd take small amounts over time. 2 entire shipments missing at once? That's sabotage. Someone wants us fighting with our supplier. Scarlett turned to Isabella. Who benefits? I don't appreciate the implication. I'm asking strategically. Who else has approached us about Canadian supply? Dante's expression sharpened. The Moretti family. And if we're fighting with Jean-Marc, we'd be vulnerable. Scarlett looked at Isabella. Has anyone from the Moretti family contacted you? Isabella's silence was answer enough. Have you been talking to the Morettis? Dante's voice went cold. They approached me for intelligence gathering. She stopped, realizing the trap. Without telling me. While shipments go missing. While you push to cut Jean-Marc. Dante stepped closer. While the Morettis wait with a replacement. A call to Toronto confirmed it. Moretti men stealing their shipments from Jean-Marc's warehouse before they shipped. You're suspended, Dante told Isabella. To Scarlett. Think you can fix this? I don't know anything about pharmaceutical distribution. You figured out confronting thieves this morning. Study this. He handed her a binder. 48 hours to fix it. After Isabella left, humiliated, Dante said, You saw through the Moretti play in 5 minutes. Isabella missed it for weeks. That's not luck. That's intelligence. That night they worked together until midnight. Dante explaining terminology, offering context. Can I ask something personal? Scarlett ventured. Isabella, were you too? No. She wanted to be. I never crossed that line. Mixing business and pleasure is suicide. But you married me. That's different. Our marriage is business. He paused. Or it started that way. What's changing? You are. Or I am. Or we are together. He ran a hand through his hair. You show up, yelling about suits and betrayal, and suddenly nothing makes sense. Is that good or bad? I don't know yet, but I'm starting to think Mother's machinations might lead somewhere real. Scarlett's phone buzzed. Unknown number. You're making enemies fast, Mrs. Costa. Watch your back. Dante forwarded it to himself. Isabella, or the Morettis, or someone else. This is the life now. I know. You can still walk away, annul the marriage, take a payout. Could I? Really? I know too much now. Dante's silence confirmed it. So I might as well succeed. If I'm stuck here, I'm going to own it. You really are fearless. I'm terrified. But I'm done being powerless. She met his eyes. Teach me everything. They worked until dawn, and somewhere in those hours, the space between them shifted from strangers to something else. Partnership. The Jean-Marc meeting was Thursday at a neutral restaurant in Queens. Scarlett spent 2 days memorizing pharmaceutical supply chains, routes, leverage points. You don't have to do this, Dante said as they arrived. If I'm running this operation, he needs to respect me as more than your wife. Jean-Marc was lean, sharp-eyed, 50s. Dante. And the famous wife causing ripples in New York. Mr. Trudeau. Scarlett began, taking control. I want to apologize for the confusion. We've identified the problem. She slid over security footage. The Moretti family intercepted our shipments from your Toronto warehouse. They wanted us to blame you, create an opening. Jean-Marc's expression darkened. They used my warehouse to steal, making me look incompetent. Exactly. They played us both. Scarlett leaned forward. How do we respond? We? Jean-Marc looked intrigued. Dante, your wife speaks for the family. On pharmaceuticals, yes. Full authority. Then what do you propose, Mrs. Costa? Joint retaliation. They attacked both our operations. We make them pay together. Scarlett had rehearsed this. You have Canadian connections. We have New York infrastructure. We coordinate to sabotage their supply lines, force them to overpay, squeeze them dry. And then? Then we offer mercy, at a price. They pay reparations and never touch our partnership again. She pulled out a contract. New terms. Better for you, stronger security, profit sharing on new routes. Jean-Marc read slowly. Isabella Romano would never have offered these terms. Isabella was thinking tactically. I'm thinking strategically. The Morettis expected us to fight each other. Instead, we destroy them together and emerge stronger. I like how you think, Mrs. Costa. Jean-Marc raised his glass. You have a deal. In the car back, Dante was quiet, finally. Where did you learn to negotiate like that? I didn't. I asked myself, what would Elena do? Dante laughed, genuine, transforming his face. You've been studying my mother. She's a master tactician. You didn't do okay, Scarlett. You were brilliant. The praise warmed something deep. Isabella's going to hate me more. Isabella is the least of our concerns. The Morettis will retaliate. You need protection. He pulled out his phone. From now on, personal security detail. Marco and his team, former special forces, completely loyal. Dante, that's excessive. 3 days ago, someone threatened you. Yesterday, Isabella met with Moretti associates. Today, you declared war. His voice was steel. This isn't negotiable. You're too valuable to lose. Back home, Elena waited. Heard about Jean-Marc. Congratulations. Her smile was mysterious. Taking Isabella's operation and improving it in 72 hours? He's very impressed. Said you reminded him of me. Is that a compliment? The highest. Elena turned to Dante. You see why I chose her? She thinks like us without the corruption. After Elena left, Dante poured whiskey. My mother terrifies me sometimes. Just sometimes. She plays chess with people's lives. Moves us like pieces. He swirled his drink. I used to resent it. Now I wonder if she sees things we're too close to notice. Like what? Like this arrangement feeling less forced every day. Dante, I'm not saying I'm in love. We barely know each other. He moved closer. But I want to know you, really know you, as something more. That's dangerous. Everything is dangerous. His hand cupped her face. At least this danger feels worth it. When he kissed her, it wasn't like the courthouse. This was real. Heat and promise and possibility. They pulled apart, breathing hard. We should take this slow, Scarlett whispered. Agreed. But Scarlett, I'm done pretending this is just business. They talked until 3 a.m. Real conversation, childhoods, fears, dreams. Scarlett learned Dante wanted to be an architect before duty took over. Dante learned Scarlett planned to travel the world before debt intervened. We could still do those things, Dante said. After we stabilize operations, after the Morettis, maybe we take a trip. That sounds nice, normal even. We'll never be normal, but maybe we can build our own version. Tuesday came fast. The Moretti shipment hit Newark. Customs, properly motivated, opened every container. Mismatched paperwork, wrong licensing, suspicious origins. The Morettis would spend weeks in legal hell. That night, another text. Clever move, Mrs. Costa, but you're playing a game you don't understand. Step back while you still can. Dante made a call. Burner number, untraceable, but the Morettis are obvious suspects. Or someone who wants us to think it's them. Create more conflict. You're getting paranoid. In this world, that's survival. Dante pulled her close. Whatever's coming, we face it together. And for the first time, Scarlett believed they actually might. The call came at 4 a.m. Dante grabbed his phone. What? When? I'm on my way. He was dressed instantly, gun from the safe. Red Hook warehouse. Firebombed. Stay here. Marco's outside. But Scarlett couldn't sit. She slipped past Marco into a waiting car. Red Hook was chaos. Fire trucks, police, Costa men creating perimeter. The warehouse was an inferno. Dante stood with Luca and Marcello, face illuminated by flames. "I told you to stay home." "I don't take orders well." Scarlett stood her ground. "What's the damage?" "3 million in product," Marcello said. "But the real damage is the message." "Not clean," Luca corrected. "We got one of them." They'd captured a Moretti soldier, young, terrified, bleeding from a shoulder wound. Dante hauled him out by his collar. "Talk! Who ordered this?" The kid was crying. "Please, wrong answer." Dante's gun pressed his knee. "Who ordered the hit?" "Vincent Moretti. Said to send a message about staying in your lane." Scarlett stepped forward. "How many more attacks are planned?" The kid looked surprised to see a woman. "I don't know. Vincent just said this was the first." "First, not the last." After he was dragged away, Marcello turned to Dante. "We need to retaliate. Show weakness now, and every family thinks they can take shots." "Agreed, but smart." Dante looked at Scarlett. What would hurt the Morettis most? Everyone stared. She thought fast. "They're legitimate business. Vincent runs Costa Brothers Restaurant Supply. It's how they launder money. We don't just hit it, we destroy it. Health violations, safety inspections, supplier boycotts. Make it radioactive." Marcello smiled, vicious. "The girl thinks like a Costa." "Not just that," Scarlett continued. "We leak to the FBI. Anonymous tips about money laundering. Let the government do our work while their legal defense bleeds them dry." Dante looked at her with something close to awe. "That's brutal." "They tried to kill your people. Brutal seems appropriate." The retaliation was swift. By Friday, Costa Brothers was drowning in inspections. By Monday, suppliers cut ties. By Wednesday, the FBI raided their offices. The Morettis were in chaos. But Vincent wasn't finished. Thursday night, at a restaurant opening Scarlett was attending, he made his move. She was reviewing accounts with Danny when the door exploded. 3 armed men, faces covered. "Everyone down!" Chaos erupted. Marco and his team created a barrier around Scarlett. "Mrs. Costa," one gunman called. "Vincent Moretti sends his regards." Gunfire. Marco went down, bullet to the chest. His partners returned fire, dropping one attacker. The other 2 advanced. Scarlett grabbed Marco's fallen gun and fired back. The recoil shocked her, shot going wide. But it made them hesitate. In that moment, Dante burst through with 6 men, a tidal wave of violence. The fight was brutal and short. 1 attacker dead, 1 captured, 1 escaped. Marco alive. Vest caught the bullet, but 3 customers injured. Dante reached Scarlett, hands on her face. "Are you hurt?" "I'm fine. Marco saved me." "They were going to kill you." He pulled her close, heart hammering. "But they didn't. You're alive. You're safe." The captured attacker was bleeding, defiant. Dante crouched beside him. "You'll tell me everything. Vincent's location, plans, weaknesses, before I lose patience." "Go to hell, Costa." Dante looked at Luca. "Make him talk. I don't care how." As the man was dragged away, Marcello surveyed damage. "This is escalating. Vincent's making it personal." "Because it is personal," Scarlett said. "He's not attacking business. He's attacking your family, reputation. He wants you scared." "Then he's succeeding," Dante said. "Scarlett, you can't be in public. It's too dangerous. You can't cage me. I can and will if it keeps you alive." Dante's composure cracked. "You think I can function knowing you're a target? Then we end this. Fast, before Vincent gets another chance." Elena arrived as police secured the scene. She took one look at Scarlett's pale face and Dante's rage. "Family meeting. Tomorrow. Everyone. This war ends before we lose anyone who matters." The meeting convened at Carmine's. Elena at the head, Marcello right, Dante left. Scarlett beside Dante, finally openly acknowledged as his partner. "Vincent Moretti wants war," Elena began. "How do we respond?" "We hit him," a captain started. "That's what he expects," Scarlett interrupted. All eyes turned. "Vincent wants attrition. Thinks we'll exhaust ourselves, create opportunities for others. We need to be smarter." "The girl's right," Marcello said. Scarlett stood. "Vincent's weakness is pride. He's emotional, not strategic. We make him an offer he can't refuse. When he refuses anyway, everyone sees him as the unreasonable aggressor. What offer? Elena asked. Peace. Public, formal, generous. We offer compensation for Newark, even though his people stole first. We do it before the commission, with witnesses from every family. Scarlett paced. Either he accepts and we get peace, or he refuses, and every family sees him prolonging violence that's bad for business. Dante caught on. And when he refuses, the commission authorizes us to end the threat, with their blessing. Scarlett smiled coldly. We destroy him with the underworld's permission. Marcello laughed. Elena, your daughter-in-law is a genius. That night, alone, Dante pulled Scarlett close. You could have died today. But I didn't. When I got the call, when I thought you might be. He struggled. I've never been that terrified. She cupped his face. I'm here. Tomorrow we end this. Promise me. If things go wrong, you'll stay safe. Dante, please. I can face anything except losing you. His voice broke. This started as arrangement, but Scarlett, it's become everything. You've become everything. Scarlett kissed him, pouring feeling into it. I promise I'll be careful. But I won't hide. We're partners. They made love with desperate intensity, knowing tomorrow would change everything. Wrapped in each other afterward, Scarlett realized she'd fallen completely in love with the man she'd been forced to marry. Fate had a twisted sense of humor. But maybe it knew what it was doing all along. The commission met at a Westchester estate, neutral ground where New York's 5 families could gather without violence. Scarlett wore midnight blue, impossible to ignore. Dante stayed close, hand occasionally finding hers. The meeting room was intimidating. Long table, family representatives, decades of blood weighing the air. Vincent Moretti sat at the far end, smug. Don Catalano called order. We addressed the Costa-Moretti conflict. Elena Costa, you called this session. Speak. Elena stood with regal bearing. Recent violence has been unfortunate and costly. In the interest of peace, the Costas extend an olive branch. Vincent sneered. After sabotaging my business? After your people stole from us first, Dante countered. But we're willing to overlook it. Scarlett stood. A woman speaking at commission was rare. Mr. Moretti, the Costa family offers $50,000 compensation for Newark, formal apology before this commission, and guarantee of non-interference in your pharmaceutical operations. Vincent laughed. $50,000. You cost me millions. Because you chose retaliation over communication. Because you firebombed our warehouse and tried to murder me in public. Scarlett's voice was calm. Our offer is generous considering your aggression. Don Catalano leaned forward. The woman has a point, Vincent. Your actions have been disproportionate. Disproportionate? Vincent slammed the table. They humiliated me. No, Scarlett said. You made yourself look weak by responding emotionally instead of strategically. We're offering you a way to save face. Vincent's face went purple. I don't need your pity, Costa whore. Dante was up instantly, gun drawn. Finish that sentence and die. Enough, Don Catalano boomed. Vincent, control yourself. Mrs. Costa showed respect. Return it or face consequences. Vincent breathed hard, warring with pride. I reject your insulting offer. The Costas will pay in blood. So be it, Elena said quietly. Don Catalano, the commission witnessed our good faith. Mr. Moretti refused. We ask blessing to defend ourselves by any means necessary. The family heads nodded one by one. The commission finds the Costa offer reasonable and Vincent Moretti's rejection unwise. You have our blessing, but contain it. No civilians, no spectacles. As they left, Marcello clapped Dante's shoulder. Well played. Now we can move without starting war with the commission. How long until he strikes? Scarlett asked. Not long, Dante said. Vincent's pride is wounded. He'll strike fast. The attack came that night. Scarlett was reviewing plans when power cut. Emergency lights bathed everything red. Marco burst through. Mrs. Costa, we need to move. Moretti soldiers, 8 of them, service elevator. Dante was across town. Scarlett texted, "Under attack, home, send help." Marco hustled her toward the panic room. 10 feet away, the first explosion took out the front door. Vincent Moretti walked through smoke, flanked by armed men. "Hello, Mrs. Costa. Time we had a conversation." Marco stepped between them. "You'll have to go through me." "Gladly." Vincent shot him 3 times, center mass. Marco went down. Scarlett screamed, diving for the panic room. A hand grabbed her hair, yanking back. Pain exploded. "Did you think you could humiliate me and live?" Vincent dragged her to the couch, making me look unreasonable. "I'm going to make Dante watch while I carve up his precious wife." He grabbed her arm. Scarlett went limp, dead weight. In his imbalance, she drove her elbow into his throat. Vincent stumbled. Scarlett ran, but his man caught her, slamming her against the wall. Stars exploded. "Boss wants her alive. Didn't say unbruised." The punch caught her ribs. Pain flared, stealing breath. Another to her face. She tasted blood. Through haze, she heard gunfire. The man holding her suddenly released, blood blooming. He fell. Behind him stood Dante, gun smoking, face pure fury. "Scarlett!" He caught her collapse. The apartment became a war zone. Dante's reinforcements engaged Vincent's men. But Vincent was retreating to the service elevator. "Stay here," Dante commanded. But Scarlett forced herself up, following to the service stairwell. Down 3 flights, she found them. Dante and Vincent in brutal combat. Both bleeding, exhausted. No guns, no knives, just fists and fury. "You destroyed everything I built," Vincent screamed. "You brought this on yourself. Stole from us. Attacked us. Tried to kill my wife." "Your wife?" Vincent laughed, bloody. "That arranged marriage? Everyone knows Elena forced you. You don't love her." Dante's next punch had absolute conviction. "I love her more than anything in this world, and you made the mistake of trying to take her from me." Vincent went down unconscious. Dante stood over him, chest heaving, covered in blood. Then he saw Scarlett. "You were supposed to—" He stopped, seeing her injuries, the bruises, blood from her split lip. Something in his eyes broke. "He hurt you." "I'm okay." "No, you're not. And it's my fault. I brought you into this." Scarlett crossed to him, taking his face in her hands. "This isn't your fault. This is Vincent's choice, his evil. We end it together." Sirens wailed. Luca appeared with his team, dragging Vincent's body. "Penthouse secure," Luca reported. "Marco's alive. Vest caught 2. But we lost 3, Mrs. Costa. 3 people dead because Vincent couldn't swallow pride. Their families get full pensions, college funds, whatever they need," Dante said. The commission's judgment was swift. Vincent Moretti was stripped of position, assets seized, exiled from New York forever. His family, those who hadn't supported his madness, absorbed into other organizations or forced to leave. It was over. But Scarlett felt no victory a week later in the renovated apartment, looking at where she'd almost died. "We can move," Dante said quietly. "New place. Start fresh." "I don't want that. I want to feel safe again, in our home, in this life." "Scarlett, I can't promise. I know what this life is. I've lived it, bled for it. I'm choosing to stay, choosing us. But I need honesty about something. Anything. What you said to Vincent about loving me, was that just to hurt him? It was the truth." His arms tightened. "Somewhere between you yelling at me in Carmine's and strategizing at the commission, I fell completely in love. The marriage might have been arranged, but this is real. This is everything." Scarlett kissed him, soft and sure. "I love you too. I'm not going anywhere." That night, they moved her things to the master bedroom. No more pretending. They were truly married now, in every sense. And somewhere in Manhattan, Elena Costa smiled, knowing her greatest gamble had paid off in ways even she hadn't anticipated. 3 months after the Vincent Moretti War, Scarlett woke nauseous for the 5th morning straight. She made it to the bathroom just in time. Dante appeared. "3rd time this week. I'm calling the doctor." "I'm fine." "You run a pharmaceutical operation without breaking a sweat. This isn't stress. He pulled out his phone. Dr. Russo sees you today. 2 hours later, Dr. Russo delivered news. Based on symptoms and blood work, you're pregnant, about 8 weeks. The world tilted. Pregnant? Congratulations. Everything looks healthy, but given your circumstances, I recommend extra security. Pregnancy makes you vulnerable. Scarlett left in a daze. Pregnant. Carrying Dante's child, a baby born into this violent, beautiful, terrifying world. She found Dante at Red Hook, overseeing a shipment. When he saw her face, he dismissed everyone. What did the doctor say? I'm pregnant. Dante froze. What? 8 weeks. He stared, then laughed, pure, joyous, disbelieving. He picked her up, spinning carefully. We're having a baby? A real baby? Put me down, you're making me dizzy. But she was laughing too, crying, overwhelmed. I love you, and I'm going to love our child. He set her down gently. We'll give this baby everything: safety, love, a better life. How do we give a child normalcy and mob royalty? We figure it out, together. But first, we tell no one until we're past the first trimester. This is just ours. They kept the secret 3 weeks, but Elena wasn't easily fooled. She cornered Scarlett at a restaurant opening. How far along are you? I don't know what. I've had 3 children and more miscarriages than I count. I know the signs. How far? 11 weeks, Scarlett admitted. We were going to tell everyone after the first trimester. Smart. This world isn't kind to pregnant women. Elena sat. But you're carrying the future of this family. My grandchild. I'm going to protect you with everything I have. Mrs. Costa. Elena, we're past formalities. She pulled out her phone. I'm doubling security, adding medical team. And you're stepping back from active operations. What? No. I just took over pharmaceuticals. They'll be there after you give birth. But right now you're too valuable to risk. Consult, strategize, manage from distance. But no field work. Not until that baby is safely in your arms. Scarlett wanted to argue, but Elena was right. She'd been lucky with Vincent. The next threat might not be forgiving. Dante's going to hate this. Dante already suggested it. I just agreed. Elena smiled. You've proven yourself a dozen times. No one questions your capabilities, but even the strongest warrior protects the next generation. The news spread carefully. Marcello increased security. Jean-Marc sent a massive gift basket. Even Isabella, still in Boston, sent grudging congratulations. But with joy came complications. Her body changed, hormones raged, patience for political games evaporated. During a captain's meeting debating territory, she snapped, Enough! Her hand slammed the table. You're arguing about 3 blocks in Queens while missing a massive Jersey expansion opportunity. The Scarpacci family is weak, distribution falling apart. We could absorb it all in 6 months. But no, let's bicker about parking meters instead of building something. Silence. Even Marcello looked taken aback. Pregnancy hormones make her feisty, he finally said, almost admiringly. Scarlett, you're right. Let's discuss Jersey. That night, Dante found her crying, overwhelmed. Hey, what's wrong? I yelled at your uncle. At everyone. I'm supposed to be professional. You were brilliant. They needed someone to call them on their bullshit. He kissed her forehead. You're carrying our child while running a criminal empire. You're allowed to have moments. I'm scared. What if I'm not good at this? What if our baby hates what we are? Then we give them the choice we never had. To walk away. Be something different. His hand rested on her belly. But we also show them that family, real family, is worth protecting. That there's honor, even in this life. At 5 months, Scarlett's world shifted again. A woman walked into their building, elegant, mid-30s, with Dante's eyes. I need to see my brother. Tell Dante that Sophia's home. Sophia Costa. Dante's younger sister, who disappeared 5 years ago after her husband's betrayal. Dante got the call and went pale. Sophia's downstairs. She wants to talk. Your sister? The one who left? The one who nearly destroyed this family when her husband tried to stage a coup. I need to handle this alone. No. If she's causing problems, I should be there. We face threats together. Sophia sat in their living room, hands twisting, looking broken. Dante, I know I have no right, but I needed to come home, to apologize, to make things right. Make things right? Dante's voice was ice. Your husband nearly killed Mother, betrayed every alliance, and you knew, didn't you? Sophia's tears fell freely. I suspected, but I loved him, was blind. By the time I realized the truth, Marco was dead, damage done, and I. She looked up. I've spent 5 years running, from families wanting revenge, from our own judgment. I'm tired. I just want to come home. And we're supposed to welcome you back? Pretend the last 5 years didn't happen? Scarlett touched Dante's arm. Maybe we hear her out. He looked incredulous. Scarlett, she betrayed the family. I know. But she's your sister, asking for a second chance. Scarlett turned to Sophia. Why now? Sophia's hand went to her belly, and Scarlett understood. You're pregnant. Sophia nodded. 4 months. The father's a good man, Dante. Not in the life. But I can't give my child a life on the run. I want them to know their family, to have roots. Before Dante could respond, Elena walked in, froze, and whispered, Sophia? Mother and daughter stared across the room, 5 years of pain between them. Hi, Mama, Sophia whispered. Elena crossed in 3 strides, slapping Sophia across the face. The crack echoed. Then she pulled Sophia into her arms, sobbing, my baby girl, you're home. Watching them, Scarlett felt Dante's hand find hers, squeezing tight. Family was complicated, messy, sometimes broken. But it was also this. Coming home, even when you didn't deserve to. That night, the family gathered for the first time in years. Marcello, surprisingly, embraced his niece. Elena made the announcement. Sophia is home. Past mistakes forgiven. Place in the family restored. And we have not 1, but 2 babies coming. The next generation of Costas. Later, in bed, Dante held Scarlett close. Thank you for that. For pushing me to hear her out. Everyone deserves a second chance. You're going to be an amazing mother. Fierce and fair. He kissed her temple. Our child is so lucky. Scarlett drifted to sleep feeling, for the first time in months, like this complicated, violent, beautiful family would survive anything. Because beneath the crime and power plays, they protected their own. And she was one of them now. Completely, irrevocably, one of them. At 7 months pregnant, Scarlett was ready to be done. Swollen ankles, constant backache, a waddle she hated. But nothing prepared her for what came next. It started with a 2 a.m. call. Jean-Marc, frantic. Scarlett, we have enormous problem. Montreal shipment, 20 million in product, vanished. She was on a conference call within minutes, Dante beside her, Elena joining remotely. How does 20 million just vanish? Dante demanded. Someone with access, Jean-Marc said. Someone who knows routes, timing, security. This is inside job. Within 48 hours they had their answer. Sophia. Dante's sister had been feeding information to her baby's father, Marcus Webb, undercover DEA agent. The pregnancy was real, but the love story was a lie. Marcus used her guilt and desire for redemption to get inside information. The evidence was damning. Recorded calls, documented meetings, enough to put Sophia away for life, and potentially bring down the entire family. Elena's face when she learned was something Scarlett would never forget. Not anger, just profound, devastating sadness. My daughter, my baby girl, twice. They found Sophia at a Connecticut safe house, packing to run. Dante and Scarlett confronted her, Marco and Luca as backup. Don't, Sophia begged. Please, Dante, just let me go. I'll disappear. You betrayed us, Dante said, voice hollow. Again, we forgave you, welcomed you back, and you sold us out to the feds. I didn't have a choice. Marcus said he'd protect me, protect my baby if I cooperated. He said you'd all go to prison anyway. By destroying your family? Scarlett stepped forward, her own pregnancy making the betrayal personal. Your mother cried for days when you came home. She forgave everything. And this is how you repay her. Sophia's face crumpled. Marcus said no one would get hurt. Just information, just enough to shut down pharmaceuticals. He lied, Dante said flatly. DEA agents lie, Sophia. That's their job. And you were stupid enough to believe him. What happens now? Dante looked at Scarlett, then at Elena on video. That's not my decision alone. Elena was silent for a long moment. Bring her to the estate. All of us need to be there. The Costa estate was where family justice was served. Every major member gathered, and at the head of the table, Elena Costa, looking every one of her 63 years. Sophia was brought in, handcuffed, visibly pregnant, crying. Sophia Maria Costa, Elena began formally. You have betrayed this family twice. Your actions cost us millions, endangered everyone in this room, broke trust that can never be fully repaired. Do you have anything to say? I'm sorry, Sophia sobbed. Mama, I'm so sorry. I was scared, and Marcus said you'd all be better off without me. That I was poison. And you believed him over us. Elena stood, walking slowly to her daughter. I gave you life twice, Sophia. Once when you were born, once when you came home. Both times you chose to spit on that gift. Mama, please. The commission has been notified. The DEA has a warrant. We can either turn you over, or... Elena paused, the weight heavy. Or we handle this internally. Scarlett knew what that meant. Family justice was permanent. You can't kill her, Scarlett said suddenly, standing despite her pregnant belly. She's carrying a child, an innocent child. The child of a federal agent who used her to destroy us, Marcello countered. The child is still Costa by blood. Scarlett looked around. I know I'm new here, but I'm asking, begging for mercy. Not for Sophia, but for that baby. Dante was beside her. Scarlett's right. We don't kill pregnant women. We're criminals, not monsters. So what do you propose? Elena asked, and Scarlett realized this was a test. Elena wanted mercy, but needed someone else to suggest it, to give political cover. Exile, Scarlett said. Permanent exile. Sophia gives birth. The child stays with us, raised by the family, given the Costa name and protection. Sophia disappears. New identity, new life, far from New York. She gets to live, but loses everything that matters. The room considered. Harsh enough to satisfy honor, merciful enough to avoid killing a pregnant woman. The baby stays with the family. Sophia asked, horrified. You'd take my child. You took our trust. Elena said coldly. Consider it a trade. The vote was unanimous. Sophia would be exiled after birth. Her child would be raised Costa, and Marcus Webb's undercover status was leaked to every criminal organization in the Northeast. His career over, safety questionable. It wasn't murder, but it was justice, Costa style. Sophia gave birth to Isabella Maria Costa 3 weeks later. The handoff happened in a hospital room, Sophia sobbing as Elena took the baby. You'll never see her again, Elena said, not unkindly. But she'll know you existed. She'll know you made mistakes, but your family loved you anyway. That's more than you deserve. Sophia was given new identity and trust fund. Enough to live comfortably, but not luxuriously. Then she disappeared, and the family never spoke her name again. Scarlett held baby Isabella that night, feeling her own baby kick. This is what we are. We protect our own, even from each other. You saved her life, Dante replied, wrapping arms around both of them. Sophia's and Isabella's. By finding a third option, by being merciful and ruthless. That's true Costa justice. 2 weeks later, Scarlett went into labor. 20 hours of agony, Dante holding her hand, Elena pacing the corridor. At 6:47 a.m., Luca Dante Costa entered the world, screaming his displeasure. He had his father's dark hair and his mother's fierce expression, and he was absolutely perfect. "He's beautiful," Dante whispered, tears streaming. "You're beautiful." "God, Scarlett, look what we made." Elena entered, saw her grandson, and wept openly. "Welcome to the world, Luca. You're going to do great things." In coming months, Scarlett learned the true challenge: balancing family and empire, love and duty, protecting innocence while living in darkness. But with Dante beside her, Elena guiding them, and the whole family rallying around their newest member, she discovered something profound. This wasn't the life she'd chosen, but it was the life she'd built. And it was enough. More than enough. It was everything. Luca Costa's first birthday party was held at the Westchester estate. Scarlett watched her son toddle across the lawn, Dante chasing him, and felt contentment she'd never imagined possible. "He's got your spirit," Elena said. "Fearless, determined, absolutely unwilling to follow rules. He's one. He doesn't know there are rules." Elena smiled. "Oh, he knows. He just doesn't care. Like someone who screamed at my son in a restaurant." Scarlett laughed, remembering. 3 years ago, she'd been struggling, drowning in debt, desperate enough to confront a man she thought was her friend's cheating boyfriend. That mistake had changed everything. "Do you ever regret it? Forcing Dante to marry me?" "Forcing?" Elena raised an eyebrow. "I engineered an opportunity. What you two did with it was your own choice. You threatened to sue me. I was being dramatic. The important thing is, it worked." Elena turned serious. "Scarlett, when I saw you that day, fierce, protective, willing to cause a scene for someone you loved, I saw exactly what Dante needed. Someone who couldn't be intimidated, bought, or broken. Someone who'd force him to be human instead of just being the heir." Across the lawn, Dante was introducing Luca to Marcello, who held the baby with surprising gentleness. The old man had softened since Luca's birth, as if the newest generation reminded him of what they were really protecting. Scarlett's phone buzzed. Danny Marconi. "Giancarlo's just hit record revenue. Thank you for the second chance." She smiled. The Costa Empire had changed under her influence. They still operated outside the law, still made hard decisions, but there was mercy now. Second chances. Recognition that strength didn't always mean brutality. Lisa appeared, pushing a stroller with her own daughter. "Your son just tried to eat a flower. I think he's part goat." The three women watched the children play, 3 different lives intertwined by choice and chaos and love. "I never thought I'd be friends with mob royalty," Lisa admitted. "We are normal people," Scarlett said. "We just have abnormal jobs." That evening, after guests left and Luca was asleep, Scarlett and Dante sat on the terrace overlooking the city. She was pregnant again, just 3 months, barely showing. 2 kids, Dante mused. We're going to outnumber ourselves. Isabella makes 3, if you count her. They'd legally adopted Sophia's daughter, raising her alongside Luca. I do count her. She's ours, just like Luca, just like... He placed a hand on her belly. This one will be. Do you think we're doing the right thing, raising them in this world? I think we're giving them what we never had. Choice. When they're old enough, we'll tell them everything, and we'll tell them they don't have to continue it, that they can walk away, be anything. And if they choose to stay, then we'll have raised them right. To be strong but merciful, strategic but honorable, Costa in name and worthy of it in action. Dante pulled her closer. You've changed this family, Scarlett, made us better. We changed each other. You taught me strength. I taught you compassion. You taught me to love. Before you, I was just going through motions, building power, following duty, existing but not living. You made me human again. 5 years later, Scarlett stood before a university graduating class, invited to speak about business leadership. The students saw only the legitimate restaurants, real estate portfolio, philanthropic work. Leadership isn't about power, she told them. It's about responsibility, making hard choices and living with consequences, protecting those who depend on you even when protection requires sacrifice. In the audience sat Dante, now running the entire Costa empire after Marcello's retirement. Beside him, Elena, still sharp at 68, and in the front row, 7-year-old Luca and 6-year-old Isabella, proud of their mother. And sometimes, Scarlett concluded, leadership means accepting help when offered, even if it comes in unexpected packages. Even if it looks like disaster at first. Because the best partnerships, the strongest teams, often begin with chaos. She caught Dante's eye and he smiled. That same smile from Carmine's, promising complexity and challenge and something worth fighting for. After driving home as a family, Luca asked, "Mom, what did you mean about chaos?" Scarlett exchanged a look with Dante. "I mean that sometimes the biggest mistakes lead to the best outcomes. Sometimes getting things completely wrong is exactly what you need to get them right." "That doesn't make sense," Isabella said. "It will someday," Dante promised. "When you're older, we'll tell you a story about how your mother and I met, about mistaken identity and forced marriage and falling in love despite everything." "Like a fairy tale?" Luca asked. "Like a real story," Scarlett corrected gently. "With real people making real mistakes and finding real love anyway. Because that's what life is. Messy and complicated and absolutely worth it." That night, after the children slept, Scarlett and Dante stood in their Brooklyn home. No longer the Tribeca apartment, but a place they'd built together. "No regrets?" Dante asked. "Not a single one. You?" "Only that I didn't see what Mother saw from the beginning. That you were exactly what I needed. A woman who yells at strangers. A woman who sees through bullshit, demands honesty, and loves fiercely enough to change the world. Or at least change one damaged mob boss into something resembling a decent man. You were always decent. You just needed permission to show it." They fell asleep wrapped in each other, two people who'd started as strangers, become enemies, transformed into partners, and finally, irrevocably, became soulmates. And somewhere in Manhattan, Elena Costa looked at a framed photo of Dante and Scarlett's second wedding, the real one, born of love instead of manipulation. "I knew," she whispered to the empty room. "From the moment she called him a rotten cucumber, I knew they'd be perfect." She raised a glass of wine to the photo, to the empire, to the future, to arranged marriages. May they always turn out this well. And in the Costa legacy, built on blood and loyalty and unexpected love, Scarlett Miller's name was written permanently, not as a footnote, but as the woman who'd changed everything simply by being herself. Fierce, honest, unafraid. Exactly what the family needed. Exactly what Dante Costa had been missing his entire life. If you enjoy stories like this, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. That's how I'll know you truly liked it. Even if you're watching on your TV, grab a second to join this family of fans who love emotional and heartfelt stories. Your support means everything, and it helps us bring you even more tales like this one.